Hey guys, it's Ryan here, bringing you a very special new series I'll be bringing to this channel as we embark on the Career Mode series. And as you are aware, the Career Mode series is basically us joining a low-ranked team and we compete to achieve the objective for that team. So as you can see here, we have the Marussia, and we have to finish 20th in the Drivers' Championship. We also have HRT, same fixed scenario as Marussia. Caterham, we have to finish in 16th or above. Toro Rosso, we have to finish 14th or above. Force India, 12 or above in the Drivers' Championship. And finally Williams, we have to finish in the top 10. And we've decided to go for... Yep, if you haven't guessed it by now, we have decided to go with Force India. Why I've chosen Force India is because I quite like the team. They're in my top 3 favourite teams that I like. So we're with Paul di Resta for the season, and obviously I'm the second driver and he's the first driver, and we hope to beat him over the course of the season. As you can see, I just had a quick check through the emails and the news. Not really interested in that, as now we're going to hopefully embark on our first race of the season, which is at Albert Park in Australia. So we're here at the Albert Park circuit for the first round of the championship, and just going to go quickly through the rundown of qualifying that I did. I managed to get into the top 10 in my first attempt, and I'm starting in 10th position, as I was the only driver in the top 10 to set a time on the prime tyres, as I'm going for a different kind of strategy to the rest of the teams are doing. So I'm just going to run you down the setup quickly that I'm running for the Force India. It is a high downforce track, and as you can see, it's kind of similar to the sprint mode ones, except for the gearbox, as you can see there, and everything else is roughly the same. So we're going to keep the race strategy incautious, so we can use a lot of fuel, and we're going to head out onto the track now for our first race. I can't remember what our objective is. I think it's 14th or higher, I believe, but we're all set and ready to go then for our first race. We have Fernando Alonso on pole position with Kimi Raikkonen in second and Michael Schumacher in third. And then there's me in 10th and my teammate Paul di Resta on the options in, I believe, 13th place. So we're just about to start now. The lights are on and revving the engine now as the 5 lights come on now. And we're away for our first race of our career mode, and it's a good start for me as I'm on right next to Grosjean. Do I get past him? No, I don't. I back out carefully, I take the inside and go past Button and Vettel on the outside. And we come back. We're going to stay in the slipstream of Jensen here. And we're going to make a risky move, taken to the inside. There's damage galore going on, as I think Vettel's lost a bit of his wing. Button drifts a bit, loses the gets a bit of oversteer. I do get a bit of oversteer as well. Webber spins behind me as well. This is all kicking off here on the first lap of our career mode series here, Jensburn. As we've now just taken it, we need to be careful on these prime times. We want to make these last as long as possible to see if we can do an undercut on the drivers in front of us or behind us. So as you can see, we're in 6th position now. We've made an excellent start, getting 4 positions already at the start, which is very impressive for us at this only start of the season as well. I'm going to go off the gameplay now just quickly before any action comes in, because this race was a cracker for me. And first off, I was featured in the Formula 1 Show's podcast, which is happening every Sunday, and the link is in the description to that podcast. And guys, I suggest that you go over there, subscribe to the channel. It's basically the directors of Alex Afro, The Grid Walker, Harrison 101 HD, Gaming Riot, Mickey Motions, and that's it. All these guys are great chaps. They know their F1. They talk about F1 stuff regarding rumours, race reviews, and predictions for the next forthcoming season. So yeah, they offered me the chance to join the podcast on Sunday, and I accepted and I had a really good time. and I gave some points of view as well. So I hope you guys go over there and click the like button and subscribe to the channel. As we can see, we're still in 6th position. We're about 3 seconds behind Button, and if I'm honest, we won't have a chance to catching him up, as the car is not that good. So we're gonna skip another couple of laps now, as I don't know if you guys want to see the full coverage of the race. So if you do want to see some action, the full race, then please let me know in the comments. But as we can see here, in a minute you'll see Hamilton go by, and you'll see Perez going around, as I go around the outside of Hamilton at turn 1, which was an excellent move for me, and we still keep 6th position, as Hamilton is on our tail now, as we lock the front right tyre. And as we see there, Hamilton has lost the back end of his car, and he's going to drop down the order, which has given us some little bit of breathing space for the time being. As you can see, I am fuel saving at the minute, and still on our way to achieving our 9-lap pit stop, and we'll still come out in 6th position. But I don't think that's right, because if I pitted now, I'll be dropping down to maybe about 12th place, where my teammate is, Paul Resta. So we're just going to crank the fuel up to fast here, so we can try and get away from Perez, as the Sauber is quicker than the Force India on not top speed, as we know the Force India has got great top speed. It's just the handling is the problem for the Force India, especially in this last sector. As you can see, there's a car broke down, and it's Jenson Button, and he's the first retirement of the race, with, I believe, a mechanical problem with his suspension, after I think he had damage with, I think, Kimi Räikkönen, I believe. So we've jumped up to 5th place. You can see the top 4, I think, are pitted as they start on the option tyre, and we go past Räikkönen, and we go past Schumacher and Alonso, but Rosberg has stayed out, so he is still on his option run, and I do believe he will pit this lap, as we set a very good last sector time, as we beat our previous best by 0.031 of a second. So as we can see, we've still got Grosjean, who's not pitted yet, and he's right on our tail. I think he's about roughly 7/10 of a second behind us, but as we have said, he is on the option tyre, and he will be pitting. As we can see, we have a train of cars behind us, as we have now skipped to lap number 8, where off camera we have seen Rosberg and Grosjean and the rest of the field behind him, of the likes of Perez, all pitting for the prime tyre. And for me, I am now going to pit this lap, as I can think I could get a good undercut here and try and get ahead of some of the guys who are in the top 4, the likes of Alonso, Rosberg, Räikkönen and Schumacher. So we make a very good entry to the pit lane. We put the engine into lean to fuel save and get some fuel in there for a good out lap to hopefully get a fastest lap. So as we're coming into the pit lane, into the pit box now, it's a good stop. Well, it's not a great stop if I'm honest. It's a 4.8, I think, as we've put the options on and we're away, and Alonso has regained the lead from us, and Rosberg will take 2nd and Schumacher will take 3rd. But can we get ahead of Kimi Räikkönen? No, we can't, sadly. So we haven't really gained anything from that pit stop, but luckily we are ahead of Felipe Massa, who has now inherited 6th place after he made a good pit stop, as he came in a lap later than Mark Webber did. As you can see, we've cranked the fuel up, and we're hopefully going to do a good outlap here. I don't think I provide the footage of the outlap, I believe. No, we don't, as we've gone to lap number 11, and Massa is still 4 seconds behind us. It was like that since I came out the pits. But we can see now on our screens, Schumacher and Räikkönen up the road. And I'm thinking, could we guys get a podium on our debut for Force India, as we use the rest of the curves? And Fernando Alonso has set a 28.5 on the primes, which is really good, and I set a 29.1, so you can see the difference in the Ferrari and the Force India, 6/10 difference with different tyre compounds. It's going to be a heck of a season if we're going to get these top finish, even if we're going to chance for a win this season. As we can see, we've got some slow car, we've got a, as we can see, Kimi and Michael getting past the Marussia of Timo Glock, and Glock decides to turn at the last minute to avoid contact with us, and that could have been all over there straight away. But we're now 1.5 seconds behind Michael now, And Massa has gained on us by a second in that one sector, but obviously it was because of the Marussia deciding to move at the last second, as we now use about a third of our curves on this back straight. It is a recommendation to you guys, so I should really recommend you guys do it. As we lost half a second, but as you can see, we're gaining on Schumacher. We've taken another 3 attempts. And we've skipped another 2 laps here, as nothing really happened, except for Schumacher got past Rosberg after he made a mistake. And we have 2 laps now to get past Rosberg if we have any chance of getting in the top 4, which would be an excellent result. As we are in the DRS, I believe, I think. But as you can see, we are fuel saving as we want to push on these last 2 laps. So we are now getting ever closer as we are about to use our DRS for the first time in the race. As we're coming down the straight, this is basically gaining on the Mercedes. The Mercedes is quick on its top speed. We make a good entry into turn 1 here, as we can see. We put in a new PB of a 28.8. Still not the fastest lap by 0.3 of a second. As we're going around the outside of Rosberg now, are we going to make it? Yes, we are. As I take the inside, lock the front right, and we've made an excellent move there to gain up into 4th position. And guys, can we get Michael Schumacher in 2 laps? Or 1.5 laps? I don't think we will, but we'll give it a go. As we've gained 3 attempts, Rosberg is 7 attempts behind us. Schumacher's only 1.5 seconds. So we get a good middle sector and a very average start to the last sector. We could possibly get DRS as we own optimal fuel, which is bad news for us, as we may have to possibly go down to standard, and we should be alright on standard for the remainder of the race. But our only concern is Rosberg, as he could be on fast fuel load, which is bad news, as he could get some in the slipstream and get DRS on us. So we're coming down the back straight now. He's only 0.8 of a second behind. Schumacher's gained a 10th on us. So I'm thinking, okay, we're not going to challenge Schumacher for a podium, but we will take 4th place here, as we decide to cut a little bit of that corner there. As we come into the penultimate corner, one of the hardest corners I think on this track for me to get right, with no assists as well. And we're going to use fast. We've got Rosberg right on our trumpets now. He's got DRS. He's going to pass us now. He's going around the outside of us. He does get past. Use a bit of curves as we've only got 1 lap to go. As I'm going around the outside of Rosberg again, and that's an excellent move by me again. I swear I love turn 1 for overtakes here. But Rosberg has the DRS yet again, as this is a 2 DRS zone track. But Rosberg decides to pull out of it, but we go wide. And can Rosberg make a move? No, he doesn't, as he backs off. And for me personally now, I've got to keep Rosberg behind me now. That is my objective, as our tyres are a bit wary now, as we came in a lap early than we was expected to be for this. As we have now, he's only 0.8 behind. Schumacher's 3.7 ahead, as we can definitely say it's game over for us to get past him. We can see them up ahead, trying to get past a HRT of Carter Kayan, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, is it going to be a Glock moment again? But as we can see, he is clearly out of the way, and he looks like he's coming in, but he decides to let loose and let me and Rosberg battle out, as it's now only half a second behind now. Can we keep him behind, guys? Can we do it in this last couple of corners now? As we can see, we've now got to +1, so we'll be fine on fuel. But I decided to point it up to fast. Obviously, Fernando Alonso taking the victory. A commanding victory, as I would say. As we break into the penultimate corner, Rosberg is right behind us. He will have DRS. So is he going to get past now? I use half the rest of my curves up. Are we going to get 4th position here, guys? It looks like we are, as we do get finished 4th position. And that was an entertaining race, that was. And Paul the rest of my teammate finishes in 11th, just outside the points. But it's a really excellent start for Force India, and for me personally, as we have finished 4th, and we've got an achievement. I don't know what that achievement is, but it might be because I did my first race in career mode. As you can see, Jenson Button is the only retirement of the race, as Alonso wins with Raikkonen in 2nd and Schumacher completing the top 3, with me in 4th position with Rosberg in 5th, completes the top 5. As we can see in the driver's standings, it's basically the same as the results, so we won't go into that. So really nothing has changed. And look at the constructors, Ferrari leading the way with 33, Mercedes with 25, Lotus with 22, and we on 12 points. But anyway, guys, that is the end of our first race of the career mode season in the Force India, and you're about to see my team congratulating me on the 4th position we got. But anyway, guys, that is the end of the first episode. Next time you will see me at the Kuala Lumpur circuit, which is one of my top 3 tracks on the game. But anyway, guys, as always, like and favourite and subscribe to the channel. And anyway, guys, take care and have a good night. Cheers.